Hello, this is Jamie from Bumble Bummy. That's a hard name to say. I didn't realize it. And welcome to my channel. And if this is your first time here, thank you for joining me. If it's not, thank you for coming back. And so this is going to be my January wrap up for 2023. And I'm just going to get right into it. The first thing is I DNF'd Neon Gods by Katie Roberts. Now, why did I DNF it? It wasn't bad. It seemed to be well written. It was interesting. I am not used to dark romances, especially of the 50 Shades variety, if you catch my drift. I am just now reading romances, and I'm trying to figure out what I like. I'm not against anyone who likes the 50 Shades thing, if you catch my drift. It's not for me. Now, I will try to read this book again, but not today. I do want to point that it was very interesting. Okay, so the first thing the second thing is I did not complete Paradise Kiss. I'm about a third or so of the way through. Now, I didn't have to finish it anyways. I am going to carry it on to the next month. It is not a DNF. Well, I mean, I haven't finished it yet, so I guess not. I guess it is, but I'm going to finish it. And it is still really good so far, and the art is just fantastic. So I will tell y'all more about that when I actually get to finishing it, because I don't want to spoil anything. Anyway, so the first book I did complete. I actually got the audiobook from the library, and that is Real Murders by Charlene Harris. And this book follows Aurora, and she lives in Georgia, and she is the landlord for some houses that her mother owns, because her mother is a realtor and stuff like that, and she owns a lot of properties. She also runs, I think she's also a librarian, like a part-time librarian, but she also runs a group for true crime, unsolved true crime, where they discuss like famous ones, I believe. I think it's only famous ones, but I'm not for sure. And some people in town and I think it's people in her group. I'm not for sure, because I think it's only people in her group are dying in the way of famous true crimes, and she's trying to figure out what's going on. And I gave this 4 stars. This was a really good read, and I really, really, well, listen. It was really, really good. I don't think I'm going to reread it. I'm maybe interested later in the future, but I'm not going to keep it. I'm actually going to give it to someone else who is interested in reading it. And but it's definitely, I got this free from the library, so that's why you'll see the cover is kind of funky. So it's definitely a good read in my opinion. So if I didn't mention it's a cozy, well, is it a cozy mystery? It's a mystery. How about that? Okay, so the next thing I read was The Forest Ranger's Child by Lee Bell. This is a Harlequin love inspired, which a love inspired is is it not behind closed doors? Like, there's no content. This is basically PG, like Disney princess almost. And yeah, they'd have no problem in the books. So, but there's the little bit of faith that's in it, which normally, from what I've read, it's not like overly in it. But I'm gonna be honest, I didn't like this book. But first, let me tell you what it's about. It's about Lily, and she is 6 months pregnant, and she is in a mudslide, I believe, during a rainstorm. She's on her way to her dad's house, who does not know she's coming, so he doesn't know to expect her. And a forest ranger named Nate finds her, and he feels an instant connection, and she thinks he's a big old creep bag, and I can totally agree with her, because he keeps thinking about like touching her pregnant stomach and feeling it and wanting to be close to her, and he's only just met her, and I don't know, but that just seems kind of weird to me, but I am weird myself, so maybe it's just normal and I'm weird. I don't know. Maybe I'm wrong. Please don't hate me for this. I'm sorry. But anyways, so she finds out that her dad is sick, and she wants to help him rebuild his ranch and train horses. And so there's a lot of that in there. I gave this a 2-star because I'm just not interested in horse training. Plus, he creeped me out. I just didn't care for it. I did read it. I completed it. Boy, why? I don't know. It was long. Maybe if I had spent more time reading the other book, I could have just left this one out. But yeah, that was a hard one. I'm not going to reread this. I'm going to give it away. But if you love training horses and you like touchy-feely guys, you might love this. So there you go. All right, so the next thing I read is The Library of Lost and Found by Phaedra Patrick. This was about Martha Storm, who is a volunteer librarian. On her way to work, she just gets to work. She finds out that there is a book left for her from a local bookstore where they said, this is for you. You might want to look at the dictation, yada, yada, yada. So inside the book, there's a dictation from her deceased grandmother, and it is dated about, I think, 2 or 3 years after she supposedly died. And not only that, these are stories that some of them are ones she made up in childhood, and she's very confused. So she goes on this journey to basically find out what is going on. And I don't really want to say too much more because I'm afraid it'll spoil it. But to me, what I got out of it, maybe somebody else could figure it out, is this was about a woman who had to learn to open up and be who she really was. She had let people run over her entire life, and she was coming out to be who she really is and stop letting people push her around. It was a good read. I liked it. I would read it again. I gave this a 4-star. I recommend it. It does get a little bit long-winded in places, but I can't tell you why. I can't give you the information because it might ruin the story. But yeah, 4 stars. Definitely would read it again. All right, so the last book is A Harlequin Desire, How to Fake a Wedding Date by Karen Booth. Okay, and this was about, what was her name? Alexandra Gold. So Alexandra, about a year before, I believe, a year or so before, she canceled her wedding. Totally, just out of the blue, canceled her wedding. She canceled her wedding, and she has been invited, and she's also helping out with a friend's wedding, but she does not have a date, and she does not want to be ridiculed in the tabloids again. So her brother sets her up to fake date his best friend and business partner, Ryder. And what he does not know is that they've already slept together. Shh, don't tell. You're not supposed to tell. Nobody's supposed to know. Okay. So the only thing is that he up and left her in the middle of the night with a note saying, sorry, can't do it, bye, basically. And she was not happy in the least, and I can understand that. But anyways, so basically she wants to have a relationship with him. He does not want to get in trouble with his best friend, her brother. And I gave this, what did I give it? 3 stars. It was interesting. Boy, Ryder just talks about over and over, oh, your brother, oh, your brother, oh, your brother. And it's like, just do what you want to do. Either do it or don't do it. That was my only thing. Stop whining about it. Just, but that's basically how these books go anyways. It's a bunch of mental back and forth. It was just a little too much to me, but I got a lot of mine. I've got a lot of Harley Quinn books that I got for free, so I'm gonna have to try to read them. But I like this all right. It's not one that I am going to read again though. I liked it the one time. All right, so would you read any of these books? Did any of them look interesting to you? Did you find that you had an opposite opinion? If you'd like to tell me what you're reading or anything like that, let me know down below. If you don't, that's fine too. Y'all have a great day, and I will be back sometime eventually. Alrighty, bye-bye.